And we're back. Thank you so much for staying with us. And before we do continue with the rest of the show, wacha sasa nizungumze na wakulima wangu, giving you tips on how you can grow from just doing agriculture to thrive in doing agribusiness. And tip number one that we're giving you is make sure that you are part of a cooperative society, because when you are in a cooperative society, it does increase your chances of getting financial support from various financial institutions. Also, you're guaranteed to get quality farm inputs from your seeds to your fertilizer. You're also guaranteed to get market for your produce at the end of the season, and also professional training from agronomists. Now, we have also talked about how the cooperative bank is very keen when it comes to supporting small-scale farmers, large-scale farmers, and farmers in cooperative societies, and they offer this support through various credit solutions. Now, these credit solutions do meet farmers at different points of needs. Now, let us talk to a farmer who wants to improve machinery in their farm. Cooperative Bank is able to give you what we do call asset financing, which is a loan that is meant to help in facilitating the purchase of machinery and new technology in your farm. For that farmer who also wants to make sure that they are buying quality farm input, Cooperative Bank is able to give you what we do call a working capital loan. This loan is given to an individual farmer or farmers in cooperative society, like I said, for the purpose of buying quality farm inputs and the general managing of the cooperative societies. We will be talking to you about a lot more credit solutions that are offered by Cooperative Bank. But as of now, wewe kama mkulima usiteseke peke yako. Be sure to be part of a cooperative society. You only need to be about 10 members to form one, and also take advantage of the support from the Cooperative Bank. But now let us jump into our Gold Insight segment, where we're giving our livestock farmers solutions to any challenges they could be facing in their farm. Take a look. One of the greatest moments of a livestock farmer is when your cows hit maturity and they're ready to produce another calf. Sometimes there are some challenges whereby ng'ombe wako haoneshi dalili za kukua on heat, and that makes you panic as a farmer. Today on our Gold Insights, we want to give you solutions to that. Come. How are you?
Fine, Gina.
We're here.
Karibu.
Nataka kufundishwa mimi kama mkulima, ng'ombe wangu hataki kukua on heat.
Keti basi.
Shida ni gani?
Most of livestock farmers, they have a problem with animals coming on heat. Majority of them, they are not aware of when do we supplement the cows, or maybe be it beef animals, be it dairy animals, because the most important thing in a dairy animal or a beef animal is a calf. Because if animals cannot cycle, the farmer has no income for the future. So this is very important, and as a company, Ultravetis, we listened to the farmer and we came up with a solution, ultramix joto.
Right.
Ultramix joto is a specifically formulated mineral supplement that has important minerals, both macro minerals and micro. Macro, I mean minerals required in large quantities. Micro, minerals required in small quantities. You can be feeding your animal very well, good napier grass, good protein, good carbohydrates, but the animals are lacking these important trace elements. These trace elements are important for the development of the reproductive system.
What signs do I need to look out for so that I'm aware that my cow is on heat?
Most of the animals, when they start cycling, because they cycle every 18 to 25 days of the month, and most of them, when they start cycling, number one, they become very restless. You find an animal, like maybe if it's a female animal, they start mowing, they start fighting others, they start maybe climbing on top of others. When this happens, this period, it indicates that heat has begun, around 13, 14 months old. So at that particular moment, the farmer needs to be very careful to observe these signs, so that the animal is inseminated or is fertilized that time. At 24, 25 months, you have your calf. So our solution here is ultramix joto, courtesy of Ultravetis East Africa. I want to learn the procedure of how I need to use it. To use it with dairy milk, like during the milking process, or maybe when the animals are resting, you take 100 grams per animal per day. But this one, usually what I usually say, salt, there is no poisoning in salt. So it's good always to provide it ad libitum. like make it a habit. We don't have poison in salt because the body is able to absorb what it needs and removes what it doesn't need. It's not like maybe a drug or an antibiotic which brings about maybe overdosing or underdosing. For salt, is the body getting what it requires here. So once you mix your food, mix it thoroughly with the food so that the animal can pick it. And the good thing with our ultramix joto, it's highly palatable, number one, because the DCP we are using there, it's a highly granulated, high-quality DCP. And also we are put there in terms of the micro trace elements, cobalt, manganese, selenium, and zinc, which are important elements in making sure the ovaries are mature enough and also the animal cycles.
And for my beef cows?
The beef cow is the same thing. Because usually when you go to beef ranches or maybe a beef farm, you find them putting maybe traps there where they can keep on adding protein feed, that is dairy milk. So you just mix it and allow them to lick ad libitum. What
if my cow is already showing signs of being on heat without using any salts? Will there be any problem if I go ahead and use the salt?
You know, heat is dependent on so many factors. It's not only the salt, but it depends on how you're feeding your animal, the health of the animal. Is that animal healthy? Because one thing is we have to realize is the first system to shut off in an animal. Is the reproductive system. So if the animal is stressed or maybe it's not feeding well, the reproductive system is cut off and the animal cannot cycle.
Some very common mistakes you have seen farmers make when using this salt.
One of the key mistakes is inconsistency. Once you use it inconsistently, because it requires, like during the dry period, make sure your animal gets ultramix joto enough quantities.
Where can I get this salt?
Ultramix is available across the country. We have agrovets that sell our products all over the country. So when you walk to any agrovet, our product is highly distinctive with the red color, with the animal mounting the other, as you can see here.
All right, and even as written on the packaging of our salt here, ultramix joto from Ultra Vetis East Africa, it says clearly a complete mineral supplement specially formulated to enable consistent heat. We promise you only solutions right here at Kenya's Gold, and here is your solution. All right, now we want to wrap up the show right now, but of course, before we do want to sample some of the feedback that you have sent in for the farm joke of the day. Remember, the first 2 people to get the answer correct get to win 2 hampers courtesy of Ultra Vetis East Africa. And the question we were asking is, what are 2 things you cannot eat before breakfast? Let us look at some of the answers that you have sent through across our social media platforms. We have one from Wanjala Duncan692 who says eating and fasting. Another guest that we do have is eats_timaish. They say break and fast. Lol. And then another one from Miss Sherry Elegant, lunch and supper. Another one from T_Tindi, lunch and dinner. Do you have another guess? Yina Lisha who says brushing teeth and washing hands. And the answer to our farm joke of the day, the 2 things you cannot under any possible circumstance have before breakfast is lunch and dinner. And we have 2 people who got the answer correct, and they will be walking away with a hamper courtesy of Ultra Vetis East Africa. Now we have come to the end of the show. A very big thanks to all of the farmers who made this episode a success. To the team that is working on this production, we say a very big thanks. And finally, our audience for choosing to be with us every single day of the week, we say a very big thanks. We'll see you again tomorrow, and we will be furthering our conversation on macadamia farming in Kenya. Until then, do have yourselves a fantastic evening. My name is Violetta Ngina. Goodbye.
Kenya's Gold, brought to you by Cooperative Bank of Kenya.